Day after day, week after week, the YouTubers, the vloggers, the bloggers continue to talk about the downfall of Disney. But why? Why is this such an intriguing news story? And why do audiences continue to tune in? We're here to tell you, folks, it's not because of the haters or the belaters. Instead, it has to do with what has been lost and the fact that the Walt Disney Company is not reacting the way that most companies would, i.e. they don't give a hoot what the market tells them to do. Today we're going to tell you exactly what is happening with the meta-narrative throughout the blogosphere, and indeed, even on YouTube when it comes to the crash, the collapse of the dynasty of Disney. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to the channel that still says what Disney once said before their fireworks shows. We're not ashamed. We're happy to do so, folks, and we're happy to have you here with us as we examine a complaint, a common refrain that we have heard from the critics, which is, if you all hate Disney so much, why do you continue to talk about it? And, well, we have an answer for that, and we will, perchance, speak on behalf of many out there who feel the same way, and that is, we don't hate Disney. We dislike the Bob Iger Company, and those seem to be two very different entities indeed. Let's bring the panel in right now.
For me personally, when I cover things, I know I have, like, one of my friends yesterday, we were playing video games, and he was telling me over the mic, he's like he was reading me Reddit posts about myself, people talk about me to me. And he's saying, Endymion TV is a culture where and he's saying all these things. And I'm just laughing because it's just ridiculous. But I'm like, I don't cover these things because, it gets me clicks or whatever. It's because I genuinely love these things. Like, one of the things that I cover that hurts me every time I talk about it is the Netflix version of The Witcher, because I love The Witcher. I love The Witcher so much. I think it's one of the best fantasy properties, what have you, in general. And when I watched that show, I just went like, man, you guys ruined this. Like, you had Henry Cavill and you ruined that. Like, it's not me. It's not about gotchas. It's about, like, I genuinely love these things and you're ruining them for such stupid reasons. And we're trying to get them back on track. The same thing with, like, DC. Like, the DCU was just a mess to begin with. But that's why when people say, like, oh, I hope James Gunn's Superman Legacy fails. And I'm like, no, I hope it's amazing. Because I want great DC movies. Like, why would I want to live in a world where DC, Marvel, Star Wars, Witcher, all these things that I love, why would I want to live in a world where these things suck? And I don't have anything to look forward to in entertainment sense. There's no escapism, right? It's a big reason why I cover video games, because I don't like the fact that video games are being destroyed and they're pandering in many different ways. It's not because, like, oh, he hates video games. Like, no, like, I love video games. Like, anyone who knows me personally knows I love video games with all my being. Like, it's my favorite thing to do. Literally my favorite. Like, you could inject video games into my veins. I would love that. Like, I love them so much. You know what I mean? And I don't cover these things because I'm like, oh, I'm a hater. It's like, no, it's like, I love these things with every fiber of my being. And I want them to do great. And the problem is that the people that are in charge of them are ruining them. That's the problem.
I can't tell you how much fun I had reviewing Godzilla -1 for that exact reason. Because it was finally, it was joy. And you got to distill that to the audience and say, I had a joyous time watching
One of my favorite times on YouTube this year was when I covered Baldur's Gate 3. Because it's a phenomenal game. It's so good. It's like, it's just oozing. You can tell the people who made it, like, loved what they were doing. And then I remember people saying, when I was talking about that, saying, like, oh, he just wants to get a gotcha on, like, game developers and stuff. And I'm like, no, it's like when you look at a game like Baldur's Gate 3, you're looking at a movie like Godzilla -1, for example, or Top Gun Maverick even. These were things that were made by people that cared. And it feels like what these things would make you feel like when you were a kid. And then when you compare it to a lot of stuff getting made these days, it misses the soul. And and it doesn't make me happy when I'm like, oh, I get to make fun of, the Marvels. It's like, I want the MCU to be amazing. Because, like, I know we all felt that way. Well, maybe not everybody, but you felt that way when you watched Civil War, or you watched Infinity War, like, for the first time. And you were like, wow, this is like this movie has Spider-Man in it, and Iron Man in it, and Thanos is in it. And this is incredible. You're not watching it because you're like, I want this to fail. Like, and that's not a thing in my head.
If I can put a button on this based off one, we do got to get to super chats here in just a moment. But this morning, my daughter woke up early, and my wife has had a very long evening. So I sat in my office and I put her in my lap, and on my second screen over here, I put on the Super Mario Brothers movie. There are movies that I tolerate. Like Minions is not a favorite of mine, but it's fine. I'll let my kids watch it on occasion. It's a little crass at times. Sonic, I can get through one of those and it's fine. It's good, but you can tell that the people who made the Super Mario Brothers movie loved it. Unironically, that is an excellent film that a 4-year-old can watch and a 40-year-old can watch and enjoy together. When these people love what they are making and they love what they are adapting, it comes through in the final product. And I don't feel like that is what these companies have been doing lately. It's people who are trying to rub their stink on it and try to say, this is the thing that I elevated and made it more like me. No, we want you to do the thing. We want you to interpret what you have just been given to adapt well. We're not looking for you to make it your own.
There was a story that went semi-viral about this comic book shop owner, Glenn O'Leary, with the whole Mark Miller thing too, and how he was saying, he told a bunch, he just kind of ranted and said, like, we don't care what you would think of yourself as Tony Stark. When you're writing Tony Stark, you're writing Tony Stark. When you're writing Peter Parker, we don't care what you would do if you were Peter Parker. We care about the character Peter Parker. And a lot of times there's a lot of these self-inserts from varying, degrees, and it's ruining everything. And like you said, when something has passion in it, you love it. Like, you just do. I remember when I first watched, like, my favorite superhero movie of all time. No one agrees with me on it. It's fine. My favorite superhero movie of all time, Batman Begins. I love that movie.
It's a great movie.
It just awakened something in me. I don't know, for some reason, when I was a kid, that movie it spoke to me I came out when I was in grade 8. It spoke to me when I was in high school, when I was, I love that movie.
Well, maybe that's a great question too. And Demian, let me go to the panel, then I want you to finish your thought. But panel, what is your favorite superhero film, so that we can express what gives us that joy that we're looking for that Disney's not giving us? And Demian, you said that it was what was your favorite?
Batman Begins.
Script Doctor, what's your favorite if you had to go to one superhero film specifically?
The one that started it all, Superman, the movie.
Jonas?
Oh man, this is like asking me to name a favorite.
All right, let me go to Tom then. Tom,
favorite. I'm going to be controversial here. My favorite Marvel film is probably, for comic book feel, Iron Man 2.
Tom?
I'm just trying to process what the hell Jonas just said. No, I'm with script. Superman the movie is the blueprint. But you also, depending on which day of the week you ask me, I'll say this one too.
No, that's mine. That's mine. Don't you do it.
Because
that's a comic book movie, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's superhero in a way, and it did the best as far as amalgamizing all the existing versions at that time, and still to this day stands toe-to-toe with Superman the movie as one of the best comic book adaptations ever.
Yeah, you took mine. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original movie. That's my favorite superhero film. They definitely count. So,
yeah,
that
works. Yeah,
I need to defend myself slightly here. As far as
is the chat being a little rude to you now, Jonas? Now that you've declared your love for Iron Man 2.
Oh, I love Iron Man 2. I think that is a movie that was highly underrated. It is a great fun film, and is probably if we're going for that MCU feel, it's exactly what it needs to be as a standard episode of the MCU. I like it. It's fun. It's RDJ. Okay, maybe there's some aspects of world building that get in the way. Actually, Thor had most of the world building, but that is neither here nor there. But it's actually fun, and if we did 100 of those, I wouldn't mind it if we're creating a long form TV series. So, but also the Phantom is great, and I know it's weird, but I love the Phantom.
Phantom is immaculate. It's not my favorite, but it's a brilliant movie.
Yeah.
All right, folks, that is a wrap for today. We were so enthralled by the takes that Endymion TV had to say, and we hope that he'll be back on as a guest real soon. We hope you also enjoyed having him on. And folks, if you did so, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe. When you click it, you stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Do not leave this as just a chat between talking heads on a YouTube video somewhere. No. Enter into the wider conversation with an entire community of folks. And even if you have a differing opinion, we would love to hear it. Folks, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and, of course, stay jolly, friends.